everybody, welcome back to yet another podcast. Today we have very really excited to do this one, and we have DB's tomorrow and Sunday we have practice. And then next week we have it's been a little bit of a hectic week, so that's why these videos are coming out later than I want them to. But anyways, let's get right into this video, starting with number 5, small school guy, really getting, I think, overlooked in this class. It's linebacker Troy Anderson from Montana State. Really wasn't a full-time linebacker until this season. He played, as a freshman, he played quarterback, and then as a freshman he played running back, then quarterback as a sophomore, then a running back and linebacker as his junior, and then as a senior he became a full-time linebacker. Really interesting guy, tested really well at the combine. He's one of the funnest players to watch in this draft class. I think his best traits are that he has like elite burst, the fast acceleration out of any linebacker at the Senior Bowl. His stop-start ability is really, really good, and he's a very, very good sideline-to-sideline player as well. He's tailor-made to be a linebacker in terms of build, in terms of athleticism. It looks like he was built in a lab. And then he's played other positions in the past, which gives him an understanding of the offense, which I think helps him more on defense to make those plays against certain teams. I think his weaknesses are his hit and miss ability. He'll be stuck in his tracks at times behind the play. He's not the biggest guy. He's only 6'4", 243, so he can get blocked. He's sometimes not confident taking on blocks, and I think that just comes with the fact that he hasn't played the position a whole lot, lack of experience there, and then won't always break down as a tackler, and he can give up ground on contact. But he did grade out really well last season, 86.3 grade. Didn't really rush the passer a whole lot, but definitely played a lot of coverage and run defense. He played in the slot a little bit as well, 97 snaps, but mainly played in the box. So that's where he's going to be playing at the next level. I think Anderson, for how athletic he is, can fit into different schemes. I think he can be a Sam or Mike or Will. He could play probably any of those 3 positions. I don't think he's going to get a ton of playing time right away, but I think he will get playing time as the years go by. My comp for him, ironically, is Isaiah Simmons, who was super, super athletic, and if you look at their RAS scores, they're actually like really, really similar. They tested like almost identical, and they're almost identical in size. Simmons is like weighs less, obviously, but they're just so similar in terms of build. And Troy Anderson, I really like in this class. I got him as a round 3 grade. Could potentially go higher than that. I think his kind of sweet spot is like 55 through like 70-ish, 75. That's probably where I'd say his sweet spot is. Then moving on to my number 4 linebacker in this class, it is Chad Mumma from Wyoming, another small school guy in this class. I think Mumma, again, another guy that's getting pretty overlooked, I think, just from the fact that he played at Wyoming. A lot of people don't see his games. But Mumma is a very, very good linebacker prospect. I think he's probably one of the best sideline-to-sideline guys in this class. He can really cover ground. in a hurry. And then he's a tackling machine as well, and he has really good form. He's only missed 8% of his tackles in his career, which is really, really good. And then he's really good at staying square to the line of scrimmage and not overrunning plays. He's a really good job at staying at the back hip of whoever has the ball and making plays in the open field. And then obviously when you play at a small school, there's going to be, level of competition is going to be a question, as he did not play a single Power 5 team in 2021. He's a little high when he comes in to make tackles sometimes, and then consistently struggles with cut blocks. He's taken down regularly by them, but I'm sure they'll work with him with that at the next level. He played more run defense and coverage at Wyoming, and just kind of, the different conferences they're in and stuff. There's a lot more options, spread, offenses running. He graded out really well, 90.3. Rushed the passer a little bit as well, so there's that too if you want to put him in there. Played in the box in the slot, nowhere else. I think another big struggle for Mumma is going to be coverage. He's more of that thumper run defense guy. I don't know if he's a true 3-down guy to start, but definitely can develop that. His coverage is not the greatest. But I think if it's weird because he's going to be that if you want him to be that thumper, he's going to have to up that physicality. I think he's definitely a Mike right now, but he's going to have to fit. He's going to have to bulk up and get that physicality up. A lot of people see him as an all-around linebacker. I'm not as big of him in coverage. I thought there was some inability to, and for very few linebackers who do this, when you're in zone coverage, not covering grass and covering man, something he's going to have to work on, but he was really, really bad at that. And then on top of that, I think that he's just a little bit indecisive in coverage. So, we'll see how that translates to the next level. I think that's a big spot where Mumma can work on. But I have him as a round 2-3 grade, and right behind the guy that I have at number 3. My comp for him is Bobby Okereke, who I think is better in coverage and worse in run defense, but their athletic profiles are similar. And I think that Mumma can get to where Okereke is at in coverage. He's certainly got the athletic profile to do it, and is a hard worker from what I've heard. Next to number 3, I think a lot of people are going to be surprised about this one. For me, it's Nico Dean. I think that Nico Dean has been getting hyped up a lot from the plays that he's made at Georgia, but I think it was really telling for me when he didn't run his 40, because I think for him to be drafted in the first round, he had to be 4.53 or under, and I think he's more 4.58 to a 4.62 guy, which there's nothing wrong with that, but being the size that he is, right now he's strictly a will, and probably always will strictly be a will and a dime linebacker. I think that's what you have to play Nico Dean at. He's not going to be a Mike. He's not going to be a Sam. He's too small for it, in my opinion. I think Dean plays faster than he would have tested, but he's still not I don't think he's Isaiah Simmons fast. I don't think he's Troy Anderson fast. I don't think he's any of those guys fast. He sees the game at a high level. So he does have a really good football IQ and play rec, which helps him make those plays, which is why he had a really, good tape at Georgia, because he was, his IQ was really good. He was able to diagnose a play before it even happened. And then again, weaknesses, he's going to have a limited sphere of influence in the NFL due to the fact that he's just so short and not very big. He's under 240 right now. He's barely 230. And then also looking at that defense from Georgia, especially that front, he was protected in the run game because of that D-line. You're not going to see a D-line as talented. Most places you go in the NFL, so he's not going to be as well protected. So he's really only going to be like third down guy or like second and long guy, in my opinion, to start his career. And then guarding tight ends was an issue because of his size, and he will get beaten consistently by tight ends at the next level. A lot of people liked his run defense tape, but Nico Dean is not gonna. I mean, unless if he's like real super instinctive at the start of the play, he's not gonna be anything for you in run defense at the next level. He had a really high PFF grade. He played a lot of snaps, but he was really only. He actually rushed the passer a lot with 118 pass rush snaps, and he is really good at that for being a smaller guy. He's got a decent rip move, and with his speed, he's able to bend and get around them. He's actually really good at that for just a traditional linebacker. Played 218 run defense snaps and then 327 coverage snaps. So he's mainly out there for coverage. Played in the box, played in the slot mostly. And then, again, his biggest area you can improve is shedding blocks and being at least something in a run game. But I don't think Nico Dean is going to be that right now, at least because of the fact that he's just super small. I have a round 2-3 grade on him again because, again, I'm seeing everything that I think. Nico Dean was really, really hyped up coming in, and he's just not what everyone says he's going to be. I don't think he's as fast as he is. I don't think he's going to be that every down linebacker for you straight in the league. To be honest, my comp for him is Jayon Brown, and honestly, I don't know why you don't just sign Jayon Brown now for $2-3 million rather than taking Nico Dean at the back end of the first round. That's just my opinion, though. We'll see where Nico Dean goes. He's going to be one of the more interesting guys on draft night for sure. And my number 2 guy, who's not getting a lot of buzz at all, out of Wisconsin, it's Leo Chenal. I definitely think Chenal and Dean and Mumma are like scheme fit dependent, but Leo Chenal for me is graded really highly compared to everybody else. I think his strengths is he is the best at taking on blocks in the country. When he engages offensive linemen, they go backwards, man. He is ferocious in the run game. He's unique, size for the position. He's 6'3", 250, but he holds 250 pretty easily. And then he's light on his feet, and he can mirror running backs in space. He's really good at changing direction. Really good sideline to sideline guy. Works well at all that. He did have a limited coverage role in Wisconsin, but mainly Wisconsin looks for bigger run defense linebackers. But he did look very good in those coverage snaps. He only played 226, but I really did like his instincts in coverage, and I feel like he could be, he could be at least viable in coverage, if not turn into a good coverage player someday. Now, I don't think he'll ever be great, but good. Sometimes he plays high in space, and he's not the fastest guy. Doesn't really have great acceleration, but he does have really good play recognition to make up for that sometimes. And then Wisconsin's scheme also allowed him freedom in the run game, so he's going to be more honed in on in the run game, where he has a job rather than running around trying to make plays like he did at Wisconsin. So we'll see kind of how that goes. Graded out really well again from PFF and improved every year from a 72.4 in 19, 82.2 in 2020, and then a 91.5 in 2021. And it was just mainly a box player. Something for his coverage to improve at the next level is route recognition. Definitely is going to be a main focal point. But like I said, Wisconsin they're not really aimed on their linebackers doing really well in coverage. At least the guys that they are have their every down. So, but I think Leo Chenal's a really good scheme fit for teams like New England, teams like New Orleans, teams where they have linebackers do very, very versatile things. I think that that's where you'll find them really early. I have a first to a second round grade on Leo Chenal, who I think is who's a really good comp for Demario Davis, who was like, I think, a 7th round pick. Took a while and then turned out to be one of the best linebackers in the game, best cover players in the game. I think Leo Chenal can be that, except I don't think he'll be as good as a coverage player as Demario Davis, but he will be a better run defender than Demario Davis. But similar athletic build to him. And then my number 1 linebacker in this draft is linebacker 1 on most people's boards. It is Devin Lloyd from Utah. Really, really love Devin Lloyd. Really, just his tape is just insane, man. I think he is just built to play linebacker. He's actually a little bit smaller than I thought he was. He's like about 240, but he plays like he's freaking 260, man. He is just an absolute force. He came into Utah looking to be a safety, had him bulk up and play linebacker. He is built to play in space. Really nice change of direction. Really, really good balance. He's always on his toes, head on a swivel, really always making plays for this team. And then he has a super long frame that helps keep linemen at bay, and he's really good at stacking and shedding. I think he's the best at doing that in this class. Really, really nice in the run game. And then he knows when to take chances. He isn't reckless against the run. He knows when to dive underneath a block to be able to get that tackle. Occasionally he can be a dive and drag down tackler, which has led to pretty high missing tackles. But again, if he goes to the right place, they will teach him, proper form tackling. And then sometimes he was worn down at games, which led to some low effort reps. But I think, a lot of that just has to do with conditioning. So if you can get in better conditioning, that'll change. And then he's not the athlete that you would see go, first round normally at the linebacker's position, but I think Lloyd's skill set translates a lot to the NFL, which is why I think he's going to go really high in this class. He's a 90.0 grade, pass rush 165 times, most of anybody we talked about, 344 run defense grade, and then 340 in coverage. And again, mostly played in the box, but also played at the line of scrimmage quite a bit. He doesn't have any holes. He's probably the best all-around linebacker in this class. The biggest thing he can improve on is tackling. I really like Devin Lloyd. He's probably one of my favorite players in this class. True first-round grade for me. Only linebacker in this class to have that. My comp for him is Darius Leonard, just without the punch, the peanut punch. But he can do it all. And I think as he gets into the NFL, his coverage skills will improve. Devin Lloyd, man, he's a freak. Cannot wait to see him at the next level. But that's all for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy the content. Again, tomorrow, DBs. Tomorrow, cornerbacks. Sunday, safeties. And then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I will have my mock draft 3.0, my final mock draft, my final what I would do mock draft. And then after that, Thursday, I'm going to have a video up just really hyping up the draft. And then I'm not sure if I'm live streaming Thursday or not. I really want to. I'm going to be at a friend's place. So just depends on how I feel about it, stuff like that. But I'm really, really excited for this draft. So thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day, and peace.